Today's video is the wave running origin story, how a financial markets technical analysis and forecasting tool got to be used in the creation of endurance training programs. Crazy, eh? Well, if you want a little more information about me, check out the previous video. There'll be a link on screen or in the comments below. But thanks for being here. Stick around. I hope you enjoy it. G'day, my name's Matt Jones and I'm the creator of Wave Running, a new way of making endurance training programs using the Elliott Wave Theory. So to tell you where this idea came from, I need to tell you what problems I was trying to solve or what things I was trying to improve. So I go back to 2019 and I'd just run my first 80k Margaret River Ultra. And as usual, I was thinking about how I'd done and what things I might be able to do better. So I started thinking about the training programs that I'd seen and programs that I'd used. And it seemed to me that most programs seemed to either have no light weeks at all, or maybe they had regular patterns of heavy weeks and light weeks. So, you know, things like 3 weeks heavy, 1 week light, maybe 2 weeks heavy, 1 week rest, depending on your age. And I couldn't help think, you know, there's a lot of literature out there that talks about how good the body is at adapting to regular patterns of exercise. So, and you know, regular patterns in other things as well, like diet. So I thought maybe there's got to be a better way that we can do this. I also got thinking about the taper, and I'd used 2 different types of taper. I'd used a linear taper and I'd used an exponential taper. And in both cases, I couldn't help but feel that by the time I'd tapered to the event, that I'd tapered to the point of losing condition. Another thing that was going around in my mind as well was that looking at these training programs, the actual volume of weekly training for heavy weeks and for light weeks, and during the taper, in fact, I couldn't see, and maybe there is, but I never saw it. There doesn't seem to be a specific method of calculation of what those volumes should be for heavy weeks, for light weeks during the taper. So I just wondered whether there was a more systematic approach that could be applied to the whole thing. And, you know, I was tossing these things around in my mind and trying to figure out, you know, if there was a better way that I could do these things and tick a few of these boxes. So my mind wandered back to a time, you know, probably about 20 years ago, when I was really excited about trading the financial markets. And, you know, things like shares, options, CFDs, foreign exchange or Forex. So, you know, back in that time, I came across a technical analysis and forecasting tool for the financial markets called the Elliott Wave Theory. And while the Elliott Wave Theory is certainly used by a lot of people as a forecasting tool in financial markets, a lot of people believe that it is also provides a good measure of the social mood, or perhaps more relevant for us is that it's a really good way of describing natural growth patterns. Putting it simply, Elliott waves describe growth in terms of progress and regress with a systematic approach. So progress occurs in a 5-wave movement, followed by pause in 3 waves. So So growth is not linear, it's not constant, and both progress and pause are a part of growth cycles. So somehow that popped into my head, and I started to wonder, conceptually, whether or not I might be able to make use of that, the systematic nature of Elliott waves, to create the things I was looking for. And I guess specifically I started to think, well, whether or not the heavy weak volume and light weak volume could be actually calculated but using Elliott wave characteristics based on the target that I was trying to achieve. I also wondered whether the taper could similarly have calculated non-linear volumes, but also the time of the taper, would be a part of the Elliott wave itself. And then, I guess importantly, because the event week and the event itself could be part of an Elliott wave form, that there would be great confidence to know that the training volume that was done throughout the program was enough to be able to achieve the event target that you're looking for. So, conceptually, it did sort of tick the boxes, and I had that sort of swimming around in my head and wondering, could it be? Is this something that could work? So the next step for me was to pull out my spreadsheets and do some calculations. And when I did that, it still seemed to match. It still seemed that the concept was solid and that it could actually do these things that I wanted it to do. So the next step really was to just try it. And I made up an actual program based on the wave theory for the 2020 Margaret River Ultra. Did the training, did the event, and to cut a long story short, I slashed my time in the 2020 Ultra by over an hour. So, the rest is history, as they say, and wave running was born. So that's how a financial market technical analysis and forecasting tool came to be used to create endurance training programs. Now, I've just started my latest program. It's a 20-week program using wave running to take me to my next event, the Feral Pig 100 mile. It's twice as far as I've been before. Now, you could say that I'm on a journey to 100 miles. And I'd like to invite you on that journey with me as I train and prepare for the Feral Pig. And at the end of it, when the Feral Pig is done and dusted, I'll be releasing the Wave Running app so that you can create your own training programs for your own journey, wherever it takes you. So please join me, please subscribe and click the notifications so you know when each of my episodes drop, because over the next few weeks leading up to the Feral Pig, I'll be releasing some videos that'll show you a little bit more about wave running as I go through the program. So thanks a lot for being here, and until next time, just keep going.